The rain came down like it had something to prove. It hammered the rooftops of Cheltenham with a rhythm that felt less like weather and more like punishment. Steady, relentless, unyielding. In the driveway of a modest, ivy-clad terraced house, a silver Volvo sat parked under the weak glow of the porch light, its engine cold, its wipers thumping uselessly against the deluge. Inside, Eleanor Whitmore sat perfectly still, hands folded on the steering wheel, eyes fixed on the front door. She had been waiting for 63 minutes. Olivia, her daughter, 20 years old, university student, self-proclaimed, independent adult, had promised to be outside at 7:30 p.m. The end-of-term poetry night at Gloucester Uni. Eleanor had driven an hour to be there. Not because she cared about verse or performance, but because Olivia had texted her 2 days earlier. Mom, you should come. I wrote one about you. And so she came. In the rain. With a thermos of tea and a coat that smelled faintly of lavender and old wool. Olivia didn't show. By 8:15, Eleanor had texted once. I'm outside, love. Waiting. By 8:42, she'd sent a second. I'll wait as long as you need. At 8:57, she sent nothing. Just sat. Let the rain soak through her coat. Let the cold settle into her bones. Let the silence grow heavy enough to crush. Inside the house, Olivia lay sprawled across her bed, phone propped against her pillow, TikTok scrolling in lazy loops. She'd been at the event, had even read her poem, A Quiet Thing Called The Woman Who Waits. It had been well received. A few classmates had clapped. Someone had said, "That's so real." Olivia had smiled, felt proud. But when it was over, she hadn't thought of her mother. She thought of the warm pub down the road, where her friends were already drinking cider. She thought of how her phone had buzzed 3 times, but she'd silenced it. She thought of how easy it was to disappear. She didn't know her mother was still out there. Didn't know she'd been waiting. Didn't know she'd stopped texting because she'd run out of words. And so, the rain kept falling, and the car kept waiting, and Olivia kept scrolling. The front door clicked open at 9:21 p.m. Olivia stepped out, hoodie pulled tight, headphones still in, phone in hand, scrolling through comments on her poem's Instagram post. She didn't look up, didn't check the driveway, didn't think to look, until she heard the sound. Not the rain, not the wind, the click of a car door opening, and then footsteps. Slow, deliberate. Vet. She looked up. Her mother stood in the downpour, soaked to the skin. Her coat hung heavy and dark. Her hair clung to her face. Her gloves were gone. Her hands, usually so steady, so calm, trembled slightly at her sides. Eleanor didn't speak, didn't cry, didn't raise her voice. She simply walked forward, one step at a time, until she stood directly in front of Olivia, inches away. Rain dripped from her chin, from her eyebrows, from the hem of her coat. Olivia blinked. Mom? I didn't see your text. Take off your hoodie. The words were quiet. So quiet, they almost vanished under the storm. Olivia froze. What? Take it off. Now. Olivia's breath caught. She looked around. The street was empty. No neighbors watching. Just rain. Just her mother. Just this. I'm cold, she whispered. I know. Eleanor reached out. Not to strike. Not to shove. Just to grasp the edge of Olivia's hoodie. Slowly, deliberately, she pulled it off. The fabric clung to Olivia's arms, damp from the porch light's glow. Eleanor dropped it onto the wet grass. Turn around. Olivia didn't move.
Turn
Around. The tone wasn't angry. It was final. Olivia turned. Eleanor didn't say another word. She took Olivia's wrist, not hard, but unyielding, and guided her to the low brick wall beside the garage. The one Olivia had climbed as a child to pick apples. The one Eleanor had painted white last summer, humming as she worked. Bend over, Eleanor said. Olivia's legs shook. Mum, please, bend over.
She did.
Her jeans were already soaked through from the damp grass. Her bare legs were cold. The rain soaked her hair, her neck, her shoulders. She didn't cry.
Not yet.
Eleanor stood behind her. The only sound was the drumming rain. And then, the silence between heartbeats. And then the first strike. It wasn't a slap. It was a paddle. Sharp.
Clean.
Deliberate. Eleanor's open hand, calloused from years of gardening, tea towels, and holding her daughter's hand through hospital corridors, met Olivia's backside with a sound that cut through the storm like a bell. Slap. That's for the hour. Olivia flinched, bit her lip.
Hard.
Slap. That's for the silence. Her breath hitched. Slap. That's for the promise you broke. A tear slipped free, mixed with rain. Slap. That's for the love you took for granted. Olivia's knees trembled. She pressed her forehead to the cold brick. Slap. And that's for making your mother cry in the dark. The fifth strike landed like a confession. Eleanor stopped. The rain kept falling. Olivia didn't move. Her body shook, not from cold, not from pain,
From shame.
She had spent 2 years telling herself she didn't need her mother's attention, that she was grown, that she could live her own life, make her own choices, ignore the calls, the texts, the quiet dinners left waiting. But now, bent over a garden wall in the rain, her skin burning, her dignity stripped away, she understood. This wasn't punishment for being late. This was punishment for being unseen. And worse, for making her mother feel invisible. Eleanor stepped back. Her own breath was ragged. Her hands still open, still trembling. She didn't touch Olivia, didn't hug her, didn't say, I love you. Because sometimes love doesn't need words. Sometimes it needs silence.
And pain. And rain.
Minutes passed. The rain softened. Just a little. Eleanor's voice, when it came, was barely above a whisper.
Say it.
Olivia didn't move. Say it. Eleanor repeated. Olivia swallowed. Her throat was raw.
I'm sorry.
Say it like you mean it. Olivia closed her eyes. I'm sorry, Mum, she whispered, the words cracking like ice on a frozen pond. I didn't think you'd still care enough to wait. A pause. Then Eleanor turned her around. Olivia's face was streaked with rain and tears. Her eyes were red. Her lips, bitten and bleeding. Eleanor looked at her. Really looked for the first time in months. You think I'm just the woman who drives you to uni, she said softly. The one who makes tea. The one who texts too much. The one who doesn't understand. Olivia shook her head, but no words came. I'm the woman who held you when you had your first nightmare. Who stayed up all night when you were sick with pee.
Flu.
Who drove you to hospital when you broke your wrist at 16. Who saved every poem you ever wrote. Even the ones you threw away. She reached out. Not to hug. Not to touch. Just to brush a strand of wet hair from Olivia's forehead. I don't wait because I have to.
She paused.
I wait because I choose to. Olivia's breath broke. And then, for the first time since she was 10, she threw her arms around her mother. Not gently, not politely, but like she was drowning. And Eleanor held her
Tight.
as if she'd been waiting for this moment too. They drove home in silence. Olivia didn't turn on the heater. She didn't reach for her phone. She just stared out the window, watching the streetlights blur into golden streaks, each one a memory she'd forgotten. At home, Eleanor hung her coat on the hook by the door. The one with the little brass plaque that read, Asterisk Mum's coat, always dry inside. Asterisk Olivia had made it when she was 12. Olivia went to her room. She didn't turn on the light. She opened her laptop. Typed one sentence. Asterisk, I'm sorry I made you wait in the rain. Asterisk, she didn't send it. She saved it in a folder called Asterisk, Things I Should Have Said. Asterisk later, there was a knock. Olivia didn't answer. The door opened slowly. Eleanor stood there, holding a mug.
Thermometer.
Steaming. The way she always made it, with a single drop of honey. Never stirred. She placed it on Olivia's desk. No words. Just the steam curling between them. Olivia didn't drink it. She just watched it. Watched how the heat rose. Watched how it curled. Soft, quiet, patient. Like love. Not loud. Not demanding.
Just there.
Waiting.
Still.
And when Olivia finally reached for the mug, 2 hours later, long after the rain had stopped, her fingers were still cold.
But the tea?
It was still warm. And for the first time in a long time, she didn't feel alone. She felt known. And that, more than any apology, any punishment, any tear, was the weight she'd been too proud to carry.
Until now.